Good evening, and welcome to the St. Petersburg by Night Broadcasting Network. Tonight, we present to you our Werewolf the Apocalypse Chronicle, Hellhounds.
Welcome to another St. Pete by Night production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised.
In the heart of night, we rise from shadows, howling at the moon, igniting our battles, cleansing Gaia of an endless fight, until our final days we will fight. Thanks, man, we stand united as one. Evil spirits lurking with horror and dread. Little light leads us where the grave dare tread. Glory and honor, wisdom in our hand. Together we rise, take our final stand. Everywhere we run, the wind is at our back. All the warring forces we will track. From the depths of the ocean to the clouds in the sky, vampires tremble as we learn to fight. Rage across Tampa, in this fight we'll stay. Evil spirits lurking with horror and dread. Little light leads us where the brave dare tread. Glory and honor, wisdom in our hand. Together we rise, take our final stand. Rage across Tampa, in this fight we'll stay. Everywhere with the pack, let the night be our guide. In battles of honor, we shall never hide. Fuck will never hide.
Good evening, and welcome to the St. Pete by Night Entertainment Network. St. Petersburg by Night is a World of Darkness role-playing community originating in St. Petersburg, Florida. My name is Kent, also known as Kent on all social media, and I will be your storyteller tonight. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for Hellhounds, our Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition chronicle set in Tampa Bay, Florida, where a pack of young guru have traveled from Michigan to assist the Sept of the Evening Star in combating the forces of the worm, both physical and spiritual. You can follow St. Pete by Night on all of the social media listed in the description down below, and you can join our community by following that Discord link where you could take part in one of the many activities we have running all month long. We are now offering for players to run or play in 20th anniversary or Chronicles of Darkness games as well, so head on over and join our community today. Now let's introduce our players. Players, go ahead and introduce yourselves if you please.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Nikki, and I'll be playing Delphine Ruinspeaker, the Silent Strider Theurge.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jay, but you may also know me as Vox Day, your Omega and the Flood, and I'll be playing Forged from Failures, the Bonar Rune.
Hi, everyone. Your little internet angel here, Lilith, playing Juniper Camine, the Ragabash Black Fury.
Hey everyone, my name is Ben, and I'll be playing Raymond Gorn, the Ghost Council Philodox.
So let's get everybody caught up to where we are now. Last week, we saw Ray debrief Charles on what happened on their mission to the amphitheater, as well as receive their next mission, which is to intercept a shipment from Piney Point that is expected to leave the state with some of the infected fertilizer, thus creating a wider spread of the infection beyond Florida, which is something that the pack and the Sept really, really does not want. Delphine then attended her first NA meeting with the support of Forged, where she ran into Artie, who was also in the process of attending his first NA meeting, as the two guru attempt to combat the horrible, horrible addictions which have been impeding upon their ability to be productive, as well as their health as guru. Then we saw Forged talk to Eliza and have a little bit of a heart-to-heart about the spirits that have been starting to speak in his mind, what he calls the voices in his head, and how to best deal with those voices and those interactions when it comes to spirits, as that is something that Forged isn't exactly well versed in. And then finally, we saw Juniper make her attempt to forge the spear, only to be interfered by the ghosts of Delphine's parents, who prevented her from being able to accomplish the task. This week is a very, very important week here on Hellhounds, or at least it has the potential to be, as many, many truths come to light. Let's get to our first scene. In our first scene of the evening, we find ourselves at the Sept Cairn, the Hillsborough State Park. Ray, you've arrived at the Cairn to pick up Delphine, as you are planning to gather all of the pack together back at the pack's house to discuss something very important. And while that is eating at the back of your mind, this confession that you have been holding off on making for some time, you put on the same brave face you always do. And as you arrive, you find Delphine waiting for you within the clearing. She has been looking better as of late, a little more sturdy every time you've gotten together. While the effects of withdrawal are obvious in her eyes and in some of her mannerisms, you can see progress being made. However, this time, when you go to pick up Delphine, what does he see?
Oh boy. Well, she is probably not looking her best. She's probably gone back to picking at the corners of her mouth, so she's got like some irritation, some scabbing around there. Her nails have probably been chewed right down to the bed, like to the point of like where that feeling where it stings because that much of the bed is exposed from how far down you went. Dark circles under her eyes for sure. And she looks both like she's just woken up from being asleep to just still being extremely exhausted. Like it was like the most restless sleep she's ever had. But she's got wrinkled clothes on. She did not take much care about how she looks going into getting picked up.
Now, Ray, go ahead and roll me a wits and insight check.
Am I at one rage or?
Yeah, let's say you're at one rage. At least for the moment. When you get to the meeting, it might go up as you get more anxious.
Three successes.
Looking over Delphine in her distressed state. Now you've seen her in a variety of manners over the time that you've known her, which is over a year at this point, coming up on 2. As distressed as she looks, one thing is apparently clear. Something that brings a little bit of joy to your heart. She hasn't used. Not in this entire time, these past couple of weeks. Scene is yours.
As I'm walking up, seeing the state that Delphine is in, a little concerned, but knowing the difficult path that she's going down right now with staying clean, I know it's rough, but it still hurts to see that downhill spiral, in a sense, of what it takes to get clean. But knowing that she's doing it, I feel a little good. So as I'm approaching, a small considerate smile will spread, kind of to show that I know what she's going through is difficult, but I'm here to like show support, and that I'm glad that she's doing what she's doing.
She kind of eyes, just gives him a little bit of side eye, not really understanding honestly, probably not understanding any of the message conveyed in the appearance, in the look, because she's just feeling the blood rushing in her ears, her head's pounding, she's exhausted, she feels detached right now, and she really just wants to go to sleep. She's honestly a little bit annoyed too that she's having to go all the way to the pack house just to be driven back just so she can go to sleep. And as she approaches him, she'll give him a bit of a grouchy look. Wait, why couldn't we have the meeting here? Why do we have to have it at the house?
It's been a while since we've all kind of gotten together at the house, so I thought it would be a good change of scenery.
I mean, I don't live there anymore, so...
I know, but it's where we first got together here, so I feel comfortable there.
What, we're just going... The Cairn's comfortable, we could have just talked about the next mission here.
I know. I know it's a slight annoyance, but there's more than just the mission that we have to talk about. So
Her brain is going to immediately get a little bit on the defensive, because usually when someone in charge is saying some other stuff we've got to talk about and being vague about it, it's because it's about you. So she'll grimace a little bit. Let me guess, Juniper's complaining about my parents.
not openly, as far as I'm aware. She hasn't approached me with any complaints. I don't know how she's dealing with it currently, but I mean, that's something that we should probably talk about. But that's not something that I was referring to, no. But we should talk about that between the three of us, definitely.
What I mean, I'm doing what I can. I've been talking to Eliza, I've been talking to Sean, I even went to talk to frickin' Anna Pelfrey all the way in the city to talk to try to find out more. But I mean, she could probably do some work too.
I understand. I know that you're doing the best that you can in the situation, and you're learning
Ray,
what you need to learn.
Ray, what did I say up in hell?
I don't really remember. I'm sorry.
For things to be good, she had to help my parents move on. And she's said in the mission, she's actively ignoring them. If you want this to be solved, pack leader, she needs to do her part too.
I do understand. like I was saying, I know that you're doing what you can, and you're learning, and you're figuring things out. But at this point, we all need to sit down and talk, like I said. Because if she's actively ignoring them, that's a problem. And so I'm not dismissing her and her neglect on the situation, and I'm not neglecting you and your attempts to fix the situation. You didn't let me finish. I was understanding your situation here.
She'll just shrug a shoulder. I mean, are you actually going to do the leading?
If you want me to handle the situation, I will. But I was giving you the time to try and figure it out yourself. I thought that's what you wanted. I thought that's what you were trying to do. Just handle the situation with your parents.
I mean, I don't want them around too much anyways, because they literally, you've seen them. When they're like that, it's not good for anybody.
Oh, I know. I know the situation is not good for anyone. And we haven't talked in a while, so I didn't know the full extent of the situation and how you both were handling it. I don't know if...
She gestures to the path ahead. Then let's walk and talk. Ask me
Okay.
questions.
Let's go.
She'll start trudging along, kind of dragging her feet, but that's not because she doesn't want to go, but because she's just tired. Her body is heavy and weak.
As you journey into the woods, leaving the clearing that is the cairn's central point, passing through the woods, you feel that protective blanket start to withdraw. That cool, temperate condition that makes up the cairn most of the time is replaced by encroaching heat as the sun beats down upon the ground. But the shade that the trees provide as you lead your way back to the road, back to your truck, is providing some comfort, but it's becoming less and less as that humidity takes hold.
Walking next to Delphine, matching pace to her, dragging her feet along as we're walking to the car. So, I know you've been, like you said, you've been talking to Eliza, to Sean, to other people to figure out a solution. What solution have you found?
Temporary ones for right now. They're not fix-its. I can basically put a band-aid on a wound that will eventually reopen. You know why I didn't do that right in the Umbra when they were grabbing at her? Because if it went bad, we would not have made it to the amphitheater. A lot of the stuff that I might have to do is probably gonna go bad. They are strong. They almost made me frenzy back in hell. No matter what, it's gonna be a hard situation to deal with. And the more permanent solution, which is using my gifts to make them leave, command them to move on. That's going to take a very long time. I am not powerful enough for it.
I didn't expect this situation to be easy. And a temporary fix is if that's all you can do at this point, like, that's what's going to happen. Because, like you said, this can't go on. And if it takes time and you can still work and keep temporarily fixing the situation until you reach that permanent solution, if that's what you want to do, we can do that.
Other ways will either destroy their souls or end up with me and Juniper dead. The quickest way is if they would voluntarily move on. But they don't want to do that. And the only thing I can think of is if we can negotiate with them to try to get them to move on. But I have the Band-Aid fixes. I can try a rite of the departed. I don't know if it'll work.
Have you tried talking to them before? Tried negotiating? Or have you not attempted that yet?
I have not been around Juniper alone since we got back from hell, because I do not want to have a situation where we frenzy. It's too risky. That's why I moved out.
Okay. So, if you don't want to be alone together and you think talking to them will work, could have asked me or Forge to be there to make sure that if a frenzy did happen, we could step in, or we can help with the negotiation.
Well, you've been dealing with red dying. Or rather, avoiding it by working nonstop.
I will kind of glance down at the walkway at that last comment and stay silent for a few seconds and then kind of look back up, glancing at Delphine. The first week or two when I learned, I definitely avoided. But I've talked to people and I've worked it out. Stakes has helped me. I'm not avoiding it anymore. I worked through it. But we haven't had a conversation in a while to have you learn that. I know you've also been dealing with your situation, not just your parents. And so I also didn't want to step in and potentially cause issues with that. We're all dealing with a lot of stuff right now. And I understand that. And I don't want to step in on everything that happens within the pack. I trust you all to handle things that you want to handle yourselves. I don't want to micromanage. I don't feel like I need to micromanage.
I mean, I would imagine that most of the Sept probably thinks we need to be micromanaged. Got the meth addict, the guy who broke 3 tenets of the litany on the first day, psycho killer, and she looks at him. Well, yeah, you've got your shit.
I mean, everything you listed off are things that happened when we first got here. Sure, Forge broke 3 of the litanies the first day we were here, but has he broken a litany since? He's gotten better. He's not arguing with anyone as much. He's not being as abrasive. He's being more constructive in what he's saying and what he's contributing to any conversation. Juniper isn't flying off the handle and trying to rile everyone up and think of the immediate response of let's kill it, take care of it. She's working on her stuff. You haven't done drugs in a while, from what I can see. You're not a meth addict at this. I mean, it's gonna be a while to fully say that, but you're working towards that.
You don't stop being an addict. Even after you're cured, you don't stop being an addict.
Sure. But you're not taking this stuff anymore. That label will be with you forever, but when you get clean, you can distance yourself from it at least. You're getting better. Yeah, I have my own stuff. And my situation's weird. But
what is your stuff, Ray? You know all of our stuff. You know all about Forge. You just listed everything off. All of our, how we struggled, how we succeeded, how we're currently doing. But I don't think anyone in this pack could say what's going on with you. You say you have your stuff, but you never talk to us about it.
I'll nod my head with a accepting look on my face of understanding where she's coming from. I know. I haven't talked about my situation, and that was on purpose. I didn't want to throw more fuel to the existing bonfire that was our pack. And I thought I could deal with it myself. I thought I had the situation somewhat under control because I was working towards finding a way to fix what I was dealing with.
Does Ray truly believe that's the full reason? Or is he withholding something? It's the truth, no doubt about that. But is it a partial truth or is it the whole truth?
I would say that he believes that it's the truth, but subconsciously there might be some partial truths that he's telling that he's not even knowing that that's what he's actually doing. Because he's trying to tell the truth, but habits die hard.
Well, there's also the fear of judgment, too, from the pack, which was mentioned last time. So with that all being said, I'd like you to make a manipulation and subterfuge versus a wits and insight.
What rage am I at?
You're at a 1.
Okay.
I mean, despite the fiending and everything going on, I think that's more pulling you down than it is ramping you up.
With my 1 dice, I got a 1.
Bro.
0? Okay, then.
I only got a -2 penalty. Yes, I had 2 dice.
Okay, then yeah, he's telling the truth.
She narrows her eyes at him. I mean, she's a little like she lowers her guard just a little bit more, like with the realization that she believes him to be telling the truth. And Ray will be able to see that in her posture. Are you going to open up about it at any point? Because she hesitates for a moment. Because real talk, from what I've seen, whatever it is, it feels terrifying.
That's partially why I wanted to meet up at the house. Why I said it made me feel comfortable. Because this pack meeting isn't just letting everyone know what the next mission is. I'm going to be trying to explain the whole situation.
Neutral location where we can't yell.
That's one of the benefits. But
And she looks back behind you guys, the two, both of you, and where they can't hear.
again, one of the benefits, but I feel like it also just means more to do this at a place that we all know and where we kind of, I guess, come from here down here. That house is our first home, and it's where we've had big discussions before. It's where we've had arguments. It's where we've had fun. And so I think that's the best place for me to talk about it.
She stares at him for a few moments, just really just like looking at him, trying to like study him and digest his words a little bit.
When you look and Bray's facing you, there's a little bit of pain and sadness behind the eyes as you're really studying because of the topic that we're discussing, and that like strong, confident demeanor of like being a pack leader isn't really as solid as usual.
She sighs a bit. You gotta start showing that more often, Gorn. Otherwise, Forge is gonna start calling you Soldier Boy again.
God, I hope he doesn't. But that's the plan. A lot of people have told me that I need to start doing it. And at this point, with everything that everyone has going on, was trying to wait for a better time to say it. But I don't think there will ever be a good time to say it. So
There's never a good time for any of it. Sometimes you just have to say it.
you're not wrong. But some things, when spoken out loud, are worse than when you keep it a secret and keep it quiet. It's once you speak them out loud, and once people know about it, their thoughts of you change drastically.
The thoughts could be for the better. You just have to trust us and yourself a little more than you're giving credit for up to this point.
Honestly, I hope you're right. But I mean, there's always going to be that sinking feeling of that's not going to be the case. So
Hopefully it won't be another repeat of the who's Spud conversation. The neighbors won't be calling in noise complaints.
Well, I mean, if it does start to get drastically too loud, you can always shut us all up.
Or Charles can pop out of the Umbra and punch who's ever shouting the loudest.
I know that's a joke, but I'm actually terrified that he would do that.
Because he would do that. It's not a joke. He would 100% do that. See, we know he would. We've dealt with the physicality part of it. Him popping out of the Umbra and doing it would add a whole other layer of fear, because then when's he watching us?
See, that's why Stakes is going to be there. Because she's not going to hopefully be throwing haymakers. But at least she'll be able to kind of keep us grounded a bit.
And does she know what this is about?
I don't think she really knows the whole situation, but she knows it's something that I've been keeping in, and it's been eating at me a lot. So she's not gonna fully know the situation when I say it out loud, but she understands that it's gonna be hard, and hopefully she has my back.
She always has our back if she does know, which she seems to know all of the shit we have going on. She hasn't said anything yet. It's because she trusts you.
I will flinch a little bit at that, because in my mind, Stakes doesn't know. And still that fear of, sure, they may all trust me to some extent, but this is a bad situation. And you can gain trust easily or work your way up to it, but trust can be destroyed instantaneously.
As the two of you reach the edge of the tree line, heading to where Ray's truck is parked, go to climb into the truck. Now, Delphine, is your phone on silent, or is the ringer on?
The ringer would probably be on.
Get a chime of a text message.
I'll check the phone.
Now, you've had this number memorized and haven't programmed it into your phone for fear of being caught in the past. But as it comes up on the screen as the text message from Spud, and it says, "Haven't heard from you in a while. Forget me already?"
She freezes a little bit. I know that Ray has a very large insight pool, so I don't think it would, and with the withdrawal, I think it would be very easy and apparent for him to notice the change in her demeanor. She's gone rigid. She is clutching her phone a little too tight, and she's kind of just staring at it. She can hear her own heartbeat in her ears from just how panicked and hyper fixated and also relieved. That little part of her that is suffering right now, relief at seeing the message.
I'll pause at opening the driver's side door after seeing Delphine just go stiff. Are you good? Is everything okay?
She kind of snaps out of it, and she'll go from rigid to twitchy now. She doesn't want to meet your gaze, and she kind of is just being avoidant in looking at you, and honestly in body language too, she's kind of turned away. She's holding the phone a little bit closer to her chest. Yeah, just a text message. I'm good, we can go.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, whoever you got that text from definitely triggered some response from you. So I just want to be 100% sure that you're okay.
Yeah, and 100% I am lying.
Could I try and, like, deduce in a sense of, like, this much of a visceral response that it could be a text from Spud?
Roll me a wits and investigation on this case, because there are a lot of possibilities. You don't know Delphine's entire history. It's possible that she could have heard from someone she hasn't heard from in a while.
Gotcha. It's with the current situation with it'd be something I'd be jumping to, I guess.
Yeah. While he's rolling that, Delphine, do you respond to the text message?
I feel like I need to make a willpower roll for this.
Okay, give me a composure and resolve. Or you can take a point of willpower damage to force yourself not to.
I think I want to do the composure and resolve. I want to leave it to the dice.
Sure. What'd you get, Ray?
5 with a crit.
Her reaction is pretty intense. And there are only a few times you've seen that kind of intense reaction. Once, around the time she found out her parents were killed. And pretty much every time everyone has accused her of drugs or tried to talk to her about drugs or, put her on the defensive. So it is not too much of a leap to say, yeah, you can put 2 and 2 together.
I got 3 successes.
You can withhold responding if you'd like to.
I feel like he gets floating. Spud will get the floating bubbles. Like she's trying to type, but then stops. It's just a lot of like bubble, no bubble, bubble, no bubble.
As you're holding the phone, shaky hands, you get another ping as another notification pops up, but it's a different text message. And this one you did save the contact of, as it says Artie. And the message only says, rough day today. Hope you're doing well. You got this.
She kind of just focuses on the text message on that one because it immediately moved her focus away from the Spud text message. So she's just staring at that, and she's thinking about how her and Artie have started doing this regularly because they get it. They understand each other. She thinks about how they've both agreed to be support for each other in the meetings, maybe bringing Forge, maybe bringing Aspen if needed for extra support days where it's just really rough. And she's fixating on that agreement they made to themselves, to each other, to anyone who they care about, and not to give up and not to use. And she'll take a deep breath and put her phone back in her pocket, still hands shaking real hard.
As her posture changes once more after the second ding of the phone, maybe growing a little bit more resolved or maybe a little bit more relaxed. Delphine, for the rest of the session, your penalty goes down to a -1 instead of a -2. You feel a sturdiness rise in your core as you feel like you have gotten the support you need to push through the rest of this day at the very least. You feel that craving decline. Not completely gone, obviously. It probably never will be. But you found it calmed and settled by this outreach from someone who knows this situation as well as you do. So as Ray starts the truck, two of you drive away from the cairn. For one of you, it's been a home. For another, it's been more of a workplace. But now you go back to where you first arrived. We transition to our next scene. Juniper, ever since the day you failed in a very important task you were given by the Sept, you've had this frustration over your current state eating away at you just a little bit by a little bit. As much as you try to compartmentalize, as much as you try to shut down as you have in the past, the fact that it is actively affecting your day-to-day life now, the fact that it is stopping you from being the good guru that you want to be, the helpful Sept member you've worked so hard to become. You've come to a point that you know something needs to be done. But going with what's you've been doing isn't working. Ignoring the problem isn't working anymore. So as you are out on patrol at your day job as a park ranger, you find yourself walking along the river, your place of peace, your place of calm, your place of control. You know you have a meeting with the rest of the pack later that evening. A get-together that you're probably not entirely looking forward to, as you've found more solace in being alone. And if there was ever a time that you were going to get messed with, it seems to be in times when handling guru business. So as you're walking along the edge of the river, what's going through your mind?
I guess the better question is what isn't going through my mind. I have just kind of been spiraling a little bit, especially since the fight at the amphitheater, and now that Delphine's parents are how should I put this? Being very aggressive. It's really just continuing to like drive in an internal dagger that I have been carrying. When Ember told me that I needed to be strong and help out my pack for the times to come, I thought I was finally like stepping up, and that I was going to be able to accomplish a lot more. And when I was given the very important task of creating that weapon, I really kind of doubled down on like, this is my moment to shine. This is like the time that I can finally start stepping away from my past and actually like trying to get along with my pack and move forward. And I just find myself not being able to relate to them at all. And I don't know how to navigate this situation with the ghosts because I still don't feel bad for what I did. Given the entire situation of it all and how it happened and where I was at mentally at the time. I don't feel bad about it, but there is no other resolution seemingly than having to apologize. But you know, they're not apologizing for killing my family either. So, you know, I'm just stuck with two fucking bullies in my head, and I still can't figure out how to properly socialize or, you know, get close to anybody. And I'm fucking up fights because of all of these decisions and consequences of actions. And I'm just kind of, in a way, back to where I started, from like to where I started mentally. Like, what is the point? Why am I here? It seems like all of the progress I was making is just out the fucking window and burning in a trash pile.
The past few days have been particularly difficult because try as you might, no matter what you try to do, you're always a little bit cold. Even in the hottest temperatures, even piled under blankets, you still feel a chill wrapped around you that you can't entirely get rid of. So as you're walking from pool of sunlight to pool of sunlight, trees encroaching overhead, you finally hit a point where enough is enough. This discomfort, this annoyance. It's annoyance that you have believed you don't deserve. As you drop down upon your favorite log, looking out at the river, what would you like to do?
I mean, ideally, I'd like to punch something, but that's probably not the best option right now, and there's nothing really around to do that to anyway, but I don't know. I'm restless and I can't stop this anxiety and this spiral that I'm having.
At this point, voices that you're all too familiar with enter into your mind as everything feels like it grows colder even still. Look at her, dear. You see her coming apart, unraveling from the inside. Yes. But that isn't guilt. That's just stress.
What do you guys want?
For someone with such sharp hearing, sure don't listen, do you?
I have been listening to the aggravative bait that you two have been spewing. And I'll admit, you got me pretty fucking good. Ruined the whole weapon making process. Just... What? What?
You don't get to get away with this. You don't get to live a life with no consequences. No matter how justified you think you are, Juniper Camine, you don't get a free pass on this. You're right. We did something terrible to you and your family. And you were our consequence. But you are no better than we are. You're the same, don't you understand? We are the same. You use your righteousness as your excuse. You use your conspiratorial beliefs as an excuse. But we're the same. We ruin lives.
I stare down into the water. And I don't say anything. And for a moment, it's just silent.
No protestation, no argument, no telling us to fuck off or leave you alone. Are we finally getting through to you, Juniper Camine?
I mean, there's no point in telling you that you won't leave. So, already tried.
Continue to try. You can continue all you like. You know what we say to be true. You want to know what happened that day? Do you want the truth? One that sent you down this vengeful path?
Yeah. I really would like to know.
Then ask nicely.
My jaw clenches and I roll my eyes and look up at the sky. Fine. Can you both please tell me what happened?
You work for them. There are certain expectations. We were doing our jobs. We told them to take care of it. Did we know how? Did we know who? No, because it wasn't our job to know. We had a hurdle. We got through it. You can blame us all you want. You can say that we pulled the trigger. And in a way, we did. But did we know? Did we give a direct kill order? That wasn't our order to give. So yes, we put in the call to the people we had called before. Our fixers. Did we know what they were going to do? Again, wasn't our job to know. We're following company procedure. Now, we're not naive or ignorant. We know what we do, what we did, affected. But do you know how you affect people? Do you even care about the people you affect by what you do? Because if not, like I said, you're no better than we are.
I am capable of caring for people and for how my actions affect them. I may not know exactly what I'm doing, but I have made efforts. I just...
You want to be rid of us once and for all. Truly be rid of us. Then do what you wish we had done. And not for us. It's too late for us. For her. And don't do it in the roundabout, righteous, I regret nothing way that you become so fond of. Don't say, I'm sorry you were hurt, because you might as well say nothing. Do you know why we left our daughter to do what she was doing? Because we tried. We tried for so long. Were we perfect? Of course not. Who is? But now, as she heals, as she gets better, there's one wound that won't heal. You want it? You want to hear it from us? Is that what you need?
It might be. Everything else hasn't worked.
Be the bigger person and do it first. And maybe, just maybe, you'll get what you're looking for. But as long as you continue with this self-righteous attitude, this belief that you can do no wrong, we will continue to be the same, and we will continue to be together. Because believe me, we don't want to be here any more than you do. You're not the best of company.
What made you guys start working for them?
Roll me a charisma. Roll me a charisma and persuasion check as you were trying to dig for some very personal information.
What rage am I at?
I'll say you're definitely at a 2.
3 successes.
Money.
I'm not asking to be a self-righteous asshole. I'm just trying to help the girl inside me who is still stuck that night understand. That's all.
Security, money, success. The company made us offers we couldn't refuse.
So they basically dangled a golden carrot in front of you.
When you're young, have a child on the way, fresh out of college. Yes. If we'd known what the job truly entailed back when we were innocent, back before they were able to start threatening us, we probably wouldn't have taken it. It was too late for that.
After another moment of silence, I wipe my eye with the back of my hand and continue just looking into the water. I'm sorry that you guys got stuck in that.
So are we. It provided security, the potential for a future. So we did what we had to do.
Destruction just causes more destruction, I guess. That's what they're good at.
Yes. By continuing that destruction, Juniper, Camine, we're doing their bidding. At least we got paid for it.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry for horrifically mutilating you guys and eating you. I suppose that was a bit dramatic in hindsight.
Don't tell us. We already know.
Well, saying it out loud to you was the first step.
As much as at times she hated us, as much as at times she did nothing of us. A part of her always wanted our approval. And now we can't get it. And she deserves it most.
She can still get it. She sees you. She hears you. That's on you guys to give. I'll just awkwardly stand there during it.
Not this time. You want to say goodbye to us? You want to pass us on, if nothing else, for your own selfish relief? Then do what you need to do. And what we need to do.
I don't understand why wouldn't you be able to talk to her before I do.
I'm sure one day we'll become what we are, which, of course, you're headed is almost a guarantee. You'll understand there are certain constraints we have. Lucky for you, you're finding us in a moment of levity. For the first time, you're actually hearing us, listening, believing us. Now those constraints are gone, at least for a moment.
All right. I understand.
It's worth anything at all to you. Tell you one thing. They aren't here. They passed on.
Tears form again, but I bite them back. Thank you. I'm sorry for all the destruction I caused.
We're sorry too. It's easy to be detached. Don't see. Happens. We have seen happen countless times. Break the cycle. Don't be like this. Because the world we live in now is dark and full of terrors that you can't imagine. You wouldn't wish that even on our greatest enemies.
I wipe my face again and nod my head. Well, looks like I have an apology I have to go make.
You feel... Okay, well, let me ask you this first. Is Juniper genuine about this?
Yes.
Okay. And you feel, for the first time in days, the sun actually warm your skin. As the presence retreats, at least for now, from your mind.
I closed my eyes and face up towards the sun and just bask in the life that it brings.
With that, we'll take our break. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the second half of tonight's story.
St. Petersburg by Night is brought to you through collaborations with our partnered vendors: Chromatic Creations, Panshi Artista, Ember Fox Dice, Devlin the Bard, Champs Tramps, and Howlin' Hop Tea. Links to our partnered vendors, as well as our Twitch and YouTube channels, can be found on our website, stpbynight.com. You can follow St. Pete by Night on all socials with the hashtag St. Pete by Night. If you wish to support our program, you can do so at coffee.com/St. Pete by Night to help keep the stories rolling.
Welcome back. As we return, we find ourselves in the back private event room of Jace's bar, the Split Helm. This room has primarily been dedicated to the visiting ratkin who seem to come and go as they please and help themselves to the generosity of Jason Dreams and Decay Thorn, their wonderful host, to the point that maybe at times it might seem a little bit obnoxious, but at other times it is a joy to have them around because of the information and help that they can supply. As we see the back room, we see folding tables and folding chairs set out. We see a dartboard hung on one wall, and seemingly having appeared overnight, a ping pong table has been erected off to one side. While no one can actually say where the ping pong table came from specifically, it just seems to have appeared in the back room. And as our scene begins, two of the ratkin, Ollie and Dodger, are busy playing ping pong off to one side. Skeeter is, of course, sat at the folding table with Maylin, and across the room, seemingly having her hackles up slightly, is Stakes, who stares at the ratkin with an almost predatory gaze as she sniffs them out and pays attention to the scenario. We also have our dear Forged from Failures and the host, Jason Dreams and Decay Thorn. The scene is yours.
Forge right now. It's in a very casual get-up, muscle t-shirt, titanium of sorts. He's standing over by Jason, drink in hand. Nothing alcoholic. He's just a Coke in hand with a little paper plate of pizza slice in it. As he kind of like chatting, to look over to Jason. He'll say, appreciate it, man, for letting us use the place for this. I was thinking of my crib, but it would have been a little tight on space, and it's gonna be a little bit annoying to deal with. And I feel like the rat party, been great with just the rats.
Yeah, of course. It's been a while, so definitely needed to have all the rats here for sure. And I'm glad he'll look over towards Stakes, who very uncomfortable. I think we're all having a good time. I think.
You'll follow your gaze, looking over to Stakes, who says, Stakes just like that. I mean, Lupus born, I'm sure they don't have a ton of parties as wolves, at least I don't think so. But I mean, she used to hang out at the bar in hell all the time, so I'm sure she's gonna get used to it. Probably just all the ratkin people. Rat people? I don't know the name.
Ratkin, you're good. It's probably just the current company.
Stakes moves over to the two of you, a bottle of beer in hand. So why are they here?
Well, this is kind of their hangout.
Oh.
Do you need anything?
Yeah.
Drink? Food?
Good. She once again looks over with her one eye, studying the ratkin carefully. There was a time that I would have hunted them, especially that one. And she gestures over to a more rotund member of the ratkin who is busy feasting on some of the recently arrived pizza, sauce spreading out over their face, a piece of pepperoni already dropped on the front of their shirt.
In different times, you probably would have been allowed to. Current standings, trying to make good with them.
Nothing's saying I'm not allowed to, but I will hold off for now.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And it'd probably be too easy anyways. I mean, you taking a look at him? I don't think he can run more than 20 feet without taking a deep breath.
At this point, Skeeter moves to join all of you. Hey, thanks for the pizza. So, what's the deal with all this? Just feeling particularly generous?
You can say something like that. I mean, I paid a decent amount of it, but, Dreams here, you got a little bit of it. You got to cover some of it, but...
Barely covered a slice.
Don't worry, I got it. But it's, just some shit going on made me think, why not have a nice hangout with some of the other crew, the other rats? I mean, king of shit mountain over here, we're the best of the rejects, so we got nobody but ourselves. I mean, might as well stick with each other.
Well, I can tell you from experience, nothing bad ever happens when you get a bunch of rats together. Not a single bad, mischievous, terrible thing goes down ever.
I'm sure of it.
Not
That's
once.
definitely partly not the reason why I wanted it to happen either.
Speaking of which, I suppose it'd be best to get any business out of the way before, we get into the actual celebration. I may have a present for both of you.
I do like gifts.
He starts fishing around in his pocket and then pulls out two items. One of them is a cell phone that he drops onto the table, sliding it over towards Dreams. And the other is a key that he also sets on the table and slides over to Forged. Thought you might find these particularly useful. Forged, as you study the key, you can see that it's to a storage unit, it seems. And you can see that embossed upon the key tag is the name of the storage unit. It seems to be called Alliance Storage, and it's located on the east side of Tampa. Dreams, the cell phone that you've been given looks like it's a beaten up, almost broken old phone. But as you study it and you open it up and power it on, as soon as the home screen image comes up on the cell phone, you recognize exactly what it is. It is a picture of your old pack, taken from a selfie perspective, and it looks like this is Sludge Fist's old phone.
He'll pause for a moment, really not looking up and acknowledging anyone, and then still looking at the phone. All right, Skeeter, where'd you get it?
You know me, I got friends in low places, and those friends expand far and wide. And I know that you've been looking for some answers to some questions, so maybe I called a few people, reached out, and decided to get you a little gift.
Thank you. He'll take the phone and put it in his pocket for the time being.
Maybe you'll find some answers in there that you're looking for. I couldn't hack the password to the screen, but as far as I know, you got a guy for that.
I do have a guy for that. Quite good at the whole click-clack on the keyboard thing.
Yeah, not my style.
Nor mine.
So I guess now my turn here. Where'd you get this one from? This storage unit thing? I mean, you got my interest. Now you have my curiosity. What's going on?
Well, the thing I got for you is a little bit bigger, too hard to bring into a back room. Let's just say I had to get a tow truck for it.
Is this some sort? Oh my god! This better be. If this is some sort of car, god damn! I've been waiting for one. I haven't used a pack car forever. This shit.
Well, it's a little bit waterlogged, so I don't know how much help it's gonna be.
I'm sure Artie can probably fix that too. If Artie can hack a phone, Artie can fix a truck, right? Or someone else too. I don't know. Ask the spirits to just not be waterlogged.
Sure.
Yeah, you can definitely ask them. Not sure if they'll follow up, but you can ask.
During this whole conversation, Stakes is still standing nearby, just staring at Skeeter. But as the presents are passed over, you can see that her nose starts sniffing a little bit.
Oh, Skeeter,
What?
Skeeter, this is most of my, really good friend and, packmate Stakes here. I don't know if you ever seen her around. She's been prowling around, but real cool. No Star Wars.
No, I've definitely encountered that type before. It's nice to meet you. Steaks, was it? Like, are you talking about like the kind you put on a grill and flip over? Steaks just lets out a heavy sigh that almost has a small growl rattle to the bottom of it. Yeah, that's about right, Skeeter says. Well, if I'd have known you'd have been here, I'd have brought a gift for you, too. Maybe some kibble or something like that.
All right, let's not try and fuck with her too much now. Look, I mean, Lupus Born, don't want to get on their bad side. Let me tell you that.
Absolutely not. I'm sure she knows I'm kidding. Stakes just stares. Anywho, what do you think of our new addition? He looks over towards the ping pong table where, at this point, Dodger spikes one of the balls that goes flying, hitting the corner of the table and ricocheting off further into the room, sending Ollie chasing after it.
It's great, but will we go even harder than that? An air hockey table. That would slap so fucking hard in here.
Well, from what I hear, we're supposed to have a pinball game coming soon. Ain't that right, Jace?
I'm working on it. That particular one is had a little bit more higher security than I really thought it was going to in the place I found it.
There's no such thing as higher security when it comes to us, but I'm sure you're gonna figure it out somehow. And besides, maybe my new gift will help expedite the process a little bit more. Provide some incentive, motivation.
I'll move it up the list quite a bit. It's not so much grabbing and getting the pinball game here. It's the location it's in and the frequency that it's being observed.
I see.
But yes, we'll get it here though.
Jace, roll me a wits and insight.
Rage 1?
Yeah, you're feeling pretty calm. You're at your place, and even though you have all these guests here, they've been frequent enough visitors that it's not off-putting having them around.
4.
Feel the intense stare of two eyes just boring into you. And as you follow the stare, you can see that Maylin over at the table is just looking you up and down over and over and over again with a almost predatory intensity.
You'll match her gaze, letting her know that he has seen her, to see if she breaks eye contact at all.
As soon as you do notice her gaze, she just kind of blushes and does redirect her look over towards the ping pong table.
Skeeter, when you gonna get her, someone else?
Oh no, when Maylin has found a fascination, it takes a good long while to get rid of that. But I'm trying. I'll do you a solid on that one. You can call it free on the house.
Okay. Unless he'll look over towards Forge. Unless you are wanting to go talk to her. She had a liking for me, but she might like you more.
Look over, kind of eye her up and down. You just see like a subtle shake head side to side. No. Looks back, just maybe another day. It's just not feeling it right now with the friends, with the squad. It's just not the vibe,
Fair enough. All right.
So the leadership's got you stealing pinball machines now, huh? That's what you guys are up to?
I wouldn't say leadership. It's a little agreement that Skeeter and I have.
Quid pro quo.
Yeah.
Know all about that. I mean, I don't know if I'd be your man for that. I'm not very good for stealing stuff quietly, but I mean, I at least know a thing or two. If you need someone to play a guitar, play some Wonderwall, I got you. I can put a little distraction going.
Maybe not that, but if I ever need someone for a distraction, I'll keep you in mind. It's been moved up the list, but as you know, we have other concerns going on.
Yeah, like what? I mean, I don't really talk to you guys all that much, so I don't really get too much of an update. You know, Charles is a need-to-know basis kind of guy, so he hasn't really been much of a talker about what's going on.
Charles not talking? You're just not asking the right questions.
I mean, when he breaks your jaw, you kind of learned, maybe you get the message a little bit there.
I heard that you deserved that because you were mouthing off.
I mean, debatable. I mean, some could say that I deserved it, but I mean, I think you shouldn't have snuck me. If you just told me straight up, I think I could have, we could have duked it out a little bit better there.
Yeah, should we set that up?
I mean, we can wait on it. We got a lot of stuff going. I got a mission. You got that ping pong thing. We're busy.
They got the ping pong. It's pinball, but you're right. No, Charles overall is right as far as a need to know. If you guys are aware of everything that has the goings on, it might be a bit overwhelming. So, being who we are, I get it. You want to know everything that's going on, need to know the ins and outs. But if you have an upcoming goal that you're trying to achieve, stick to that. You make it through that and you don't fuck up at all, you don't have your jaw broken, maybe I'll let you know a few different things going on behind the scenes.
Stakes leans almost conspiratorially over to you, Jace, and says, by some people, he means the litany.
Yeah.
We're trying his hardest to look innocent.
What is your upcoming mission you got?
Oh, it's something about I don't really know the details all that much. I know we're supposed to be meeting about it, and Ray's gonna talk about it and give us a bunch of details. I know we have a whole thing set up. I don't know the actual details of it yet. He hasn't really shared all that much, but I mean, I guess that's what the leaders get, right? The early access information so they can distribute to everyone else.
So you just know you're going to go do a thing. That's your knowledge on it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that's usually how it goes. I only know until everything already else has been decided or figured out. So I mean, we already took out that weird viney vampy thing, so I mean, we did that pretty well, so hey, I guess, does that deserve a little nugget information or two, huh? I mean, I know some pretty cool stuff, what was in the floor. I don't know if Charles told you about the floorboard stuff, but I found that out. Pretty cool.
I did hear about the floors. Good job holding it down there.
Hey, it takes a strong man to get that figured out, or to get through that, but
yeah, good thing Charles is there.
You like jokes, huh?
Is it a joke or is it fact? Because did it sting a little bit? Because it might be a little bit of fact.
You see, Forge has a little bit of a strange smile now. Puts a hand on, kind of hand on the shoulder, shakes it a little bit. You're a funny guy, Dreams. As he'll go and take a bite of his pizza.
As you reach over to take a bite of the pizza, both of you roll me a wits and awareness.
We get our rat favor of noticing lost or overlooked things.
Yeah, you can both take that favor.
I got a 1.
3.
Okay, so Forged, you are completely into this slice of pizza while also trying to hold back that growing fire inside of you at the comments that Jace has made. But Jace, looking over, you see one of the pizza boxes that looks like it was just shoved off to the side on the stack of other pizzas is moving. The lid of the box is moving. There's no one else standing near it. No one else in the group that's been here.
He'll get up, excuse himself, and make his way over and take a bit of a gander at it.
As you move closer towards the pizza box, you see a long, thin pink tail sticking out of the pizza box.
He'll give a bit of a sigh and then slowly lift the lid.
As you lift the lid, you see one of the largest black-furred rats possibly you've ever seen, although it looks incredibly familiar, having seen it several times before, perched upon one of the pizzas, just digging in, helping themselves. But as you open the box, they sit back up on their hind legs and look over in your direction.
Enjoying yourself?
Yeah, who doesn't like free food?
I would expect nothing less from you. If you do need anything, though, just let me know. Do you want the box closed or do you want it open?
Rat's out of the bag now, so you might as well just leave it open.
All right. You'll flip the lid completely open at that point.
As the patron spirit rat looks over his assembled family, he licks his paws before rubbing them together. Look at all these kids.
He'll take a look around. Yeah. Wouldn't say a good group, but they try to do good things.
Good of you to give them a place to congregate.
You know, the way that I can keep an eye on them as well.
I gotta tell you, having so many of us in one place is a rare thing. But as this city continues to grow and change, and after what they did, putting out a call to all types, like we've talked about before, so it's unsurprising that we'd be one of the first to answer.
In a way, I'm glad that you guys did, though. He'll look back around to everyone.
At this point, Skeeter's stepped away, having been thoroughly intimidated by Stakes. He's moved back and headed back over to watch the ping pong game in progress.
Do I notice the conversation going? I imagine at this point, when I notice this happening, the rat and in dreams, I'll just stand up, like put my food down and stand up and walk on over. Just, hey, what's up, rat? Didn't think that you'd make a stop by here, but I guess the call of free food is enough to draw even you out, huh?
Well, gotta keep an eye on all of mine. And seeing two different groups of mine come together, it just warms my non-beating, incorporeal heart.
Skeeter did me a solid. He'll pull out the phone and turn it on and show him the picture.
Good kid. He knows the business well. Was one of the first of them to change and come to the fold, so to speak.
Reminds me of another friend of mine, except a bit less slimy. I have a homie, Damien, kind of into that biz too. Skeeter's a lot better than he is.
Well, he's been around the block a few times, made some good connections, and with a little encouragement, has been better at seeking out those connections and using them to the best of his ability.
See that?
Speaking of which, you both are making some pretty good connections of your own, aren't you?
Some.
Well, you beckoned me here with free food, the gathering of my kids. What can I do for you while I'm here?
Just a favor offered by a rat? I must be dreaming.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not get too hasty. But these opportunities don't present themselves too often. So I figure I would grace you with some thanks for what you've provided.
Well, this was Forged overall idea, and he's flipping the bill for everything. You'll look to him. Yeah, you'll pay me back. So he can decide what he wants.
Seems like Forge opens his mouth to protest for a second before, like, kind of realizing that Rat's looking at him, kind of, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm getting the bill. You know, I did have something I was thinking about, kind of, I'm saying, gnawing at my mind. I'm pretty sure you already know the deets of it, but you know, some people that I care about left. So if you could find any information about her and, you know, little Cooper.
Both of you roll me a wits and insight. As Rat grabs another chunk of the pizza and starts eating it.
Another 3.
Using a willpower, I got 3 as well.
There's a slight shift in his posture, a kind of nervous energy as his eyes dart about slightly and he munches on the pizza a little more thoroughly. You know, there's a lot that I can see. I mean, there's very little that escapes my notice. Well, much to my disdain. Something has escaped my notice, or I should say disappeared from my sight. I always look out for me and mine, and you two are no exception. But I can tell you this. The answer, or at least some answers, lie in your gifts.
Forge thinks on it for a moment. I'm not gonna lie, Rat. That's... If you're telling me that someone disappeared from your gaze and you're giving me cryptic information about using my gifts to get some, figure what happened, that's not inspiring a lot of confidence. I'm not. He's like, Forrest kind of like tenses up a bit more now. He's a little bit of worry on his face. Like, dude, you can let me know if she's good or not, you know? Like, I can handle some stuff. I've been going through a lot. I've been on that healing journey, man. I mean, I can take some info.
Even though he's a spirit, even though he doesn't have any need to breathe, you see him take a long, deep breath and then let it out. Something happened. Not entirely sure what. As I said, disappeared from my gaze, which is unusual. but she's not all right, kid.
Forge is now like with leaning on the table, his hand gripping onto it very tightly, but he's still trying to present like a very chill exterior. He's at a party right now. This is a good event. It's not time to be freaking out in front of everyone. So he's still trying to present as a calm and collected individual as he's currently freaking out a bit inside.
Give me a composure and resolve.
Two successes, could be worse.
I will say your rage goes up by 1, but you are able to at least mask an exterior of some calm.
We're not like nodding a few times before he. That's chill. That's all right. We'll just figure it out. We'll use our gifts. We'll just get shit to work. I mean, hey, we can deal with viney vamps and whatever the hell's going on. I mean, endured whatever happened in hell. What, we got this. It's fine.
As I said, your answer lies in your gift, or at least some information.
He'll look over now to Dreams. He said, do you have any questions either? I mean, I think mine took a little bit of an awkward turn here. I mean, it's...
No. The way I see it, information isn't necessarily good or bad. It's just the information that's being passed. It's what you use with the information and how you use it. But I understand your sentiment. Now, Rat, you'll look towards Forge. We have an interesting relationship as far as things go, but he's been very kind lately and very helpful. Rat, I'm inquiring on spreading out a little bit.
Uh-huh.
As far as additional places, this is more of an opinion. That's a favor I want. Would, in your thought process, extending businesses in Tampa be a good idea?
I think you are at a prime time to start spreading your reach. Having safe houses all throughout the city, places you can go, places you control. That's more eyes, that's more chances, that's more opportunities. And right now, the tower is crumbling, brick by brick, a little bit at a time. There's cracks forming in the foundation. Going all the way back to a year ago. As much as they try to cover up those cracks with plaster, cement, once a foundation starts to crumble like that, there's only one place for it to go. That's down. They may put on a brave face, they may act like everything's fine, but they're scrambling, they're losing their grip. That's your chance to seize the moment. Take more for yourself and others. And with patience, an opportunity will present itself to use it to the best of your ability, even if it doesn't seem like it's right now.
Okay.
Bear in mind, kid, the deal is with one particular group. There's more than one group out there.
Understood. No, you're right. I'll try not to get narrow-minded about it.
They also smell blood in the water, and they're circling like sharks, moving their way in, slowly but surely. So don't assume every face you see, every individual you meet represents the same organization. There are those looking to spoil the party.
Sounds like we can get two birds with one stone, or just get two birds to maul each other half to death and come clean up the remains after that.
In a sense.
If you're looking to expand your reach more than just financially or business-wise, if you can find the right ears to listen, and you're willing to hold back on your base nature long enough, there are ways to stir the pot. But you have to provide something. Because just as you're wary about them, they're wary about
You know me, I do like stirring the pot, adding a little bit of itching powder to the whole thing. I'll keep an eye out on places where additional reach can be acquired. More eyes on different things that are going on in the city would be beneficial. Like Skeeter does great, but need more.
just careful who you go into business with. Don't get yourself into too much debt. Because if you do, the snake might constrict.
Never too fond of snakes.
Yeah, well, Dreams, if you need it, I mean, I know a thing or two about especially about the street climate of Ybor, about a lot of the places in Tampa. If you're looking for a place or need some peeps to come by, I can direct some people your way. I got like a handful of people who can tolerate me.
Handful's a good start. My idea is just to have a decent knowledge base on things going on in Tampa. We can understand this place better, get a good foothold, then the powers that be would have a better fighting chance.
Keep in mind, nothing comes free, and knowledge is power. There's no one who hoards power more than them.
Got to make that foundation crack some more. And once it's all down, that knowledge will mean nothing.
As slow-moving as they are, they can move fast when they need to rebuild something. One collapses, another arises. Been the way, will continue to be the way. Especially if it goes untended or checked.
We gotta keep kicking them while they're down. I do like that. I mean, that's the thing I was kind of wondering about with the whole info gathering stuff, because you guys are talking about all this. I mean, I chat with a lot of people on the streets, and I don't know, like, you guys get information from, like, important people? I mean, I would just kind of chat with Damien, he knew shit, and you know, Ratkins know stuff. Like, who are you? How y'all kind of going about that?
Well, to reveal a source that's a big deal. But Damien, that's a good start. Everyone needs that one guy that they can rely on to get that information, but you can use that one person to extend your reach on how knowledge is acquired. So Damien probably knew someone where he was getting the info. You get to know that guy, and so on and so forth. And then you build your own network on how you are gathering information. Make sure that you're always at the top of it, though. Nothing gets past you.
Add to that, every resource is important. No one resource is more important than any other. It's just a matter of what it's used for, what you're looking for. You're building a pretty good network, hero of Ebor. You just got to keep your ear to the ground and don't let appearances deceive you. I have found the most overlooked are the best resources. The ones who go unchecked, unminded, unknown. Those are the ones who provide the best information. Look at these kids, and he gestures over to the ratkin. Nobody would have paid them a second mind. And that works to my advantage, to our advantage. But don't ever take any of your resources for granted. All of them have value.
I guess that's fair. I mean, there's a lot of homeless people on Ybor. No one bats an eye to any of them. I mean, imagine if they all probably could use a little homie to hang out with and chat with. Okay, See, this sounds like some cool shit. It's like some spy shit going on here. I like it.
In a way.
Create an underground, a network of contacts and resources. You put those together. Start with one, then you connect it to another, and it goes beyond and beyond. Before you know it, you own the city. You don't need a title. You don't need money to own a city. What you need is information. Information is far more valuable than any dollar can put a price on it. Knowing everyone's dirty secrets. Knowing their goings on. Where they are. What they're doing. Blackmail. These are the tools of the trade. You don't need a fancy car. You don't need lots of money. You just need to know the right people at the right time and ask the right questions.
Or it's like nodding, kind of internalizing all this, just thinking, kind of taking the information in, as he'll say. That does sound pretty good. What do you think, Dream? The rat family ruling Tampa. I do like the sound of that.
Tampa's not the first city it's been done to. It won't be the last. But don't let it get to your head either, because that will crumble the whole network down faster than anything else.
The enemies have their own rats. Not under my guise of control. So just be mindful that while you're looking into them, they're looking into you just as much. What you may value as a commodity or a resource may not actually be yours. If you want to establish resources of your own, you're going to have to ensure that they are yours. Because it just takes one little slip up, one little piece of information, a tug upon a single string to unravel everything you've created.
It's fair enough. I mean, for resources wise, I guess the good thing I'm a rat. I suppose I'm used to having nothing anyway, so that's kind of what my default is. Not having anything is fine, but I think I've learned that lesson pretty well about making sure your other peeps don't get targeted.
Also making sure you don't trust the wrong ones. You learned that firsthand. Lucky enough for you, I decided to take you at that time. Well, Gaia did. I helped out.
Yeah, not my highest moment there. Well, I mean, hey, you found me in the bottom of the barrel, so probably exactly where you were, so.
Bottoms of the barrel is where the best bits lie.
makes me wonder. James, I'm surprised you're a rat. You, I mean, you seem like you like getting info, but I mean, I just kind of always assumed that us rats kind of, like I said, king of shit mountain, where we don't really get a lot or we don't have a lot. You own a whole ass bar, and you seem kind of actually well composed.
Wasn't when Rat first showed himself. I got to where I'm at on what Rat just said. I gathered information, and that learning secrets is something I learned very early on, and that no matter how much power someone has over you, if you have that string to unravel them, they'll do anything that you want them to. You can use that to put yourself up. Now, putting yourself on a shaky foundation like that is not advised. You need to set your own foundation and make sure it's secured. But just know when opportunities come up, jump on them. You're already at the bottom of the barrel. You can't get too much lower. So as opportunities show up, take them.
Brains here is a perfect example of brains, not brawn, and how it can work for you. Using all of your faculties, not just your fists and your muscle. He also, and Rat looks over towards Jace, understands the importance of timing. That you don't act immediately on instinct. Less gut reactions, less knee-jerk reactions. You have to study the situation and wait for your moment.
It's like, so like, like waiting for someone to open their guard, essentially. Hold up your guard until someone else drops there, then that's when you deliver the right hook.
Precisely.
Yeah, look for the slip up, look for the mistake. Let them get overconfident. Let them think they've won. Let them think they have the upper hand. Because when they get cocky, something you've learned very well, my dear child, that's when they make an error. When they think they've already won. That's when we slip in and prove them wrong.
Yeah, I'm already feeling smarter now. I feel like I should like get some glasses, start writing notes here.
The other thing to keep in mind is our rage is one of our most powerful things that we can utilize. It gives us the abilities we have, but it's a terrible navigator. Absolutely awful. If you let that rage guide you, if you allow someone to get under your skin or to upset you and you follow that, you'll find yourself in a very hollow place.
You'll also find yourself on your heels instead of the balls of your feet. It'll knock you back. It'll knock you off kilter. You have to stay centered. You have to stay aware. Enemies you encounter are going to prey upon your emotions. Mostly because most of them have none. A moment is about to arrive, Forged, where your gut's gonna tell you one thing, your heart's gonna tell you another. Consider what we've said. Because if you make the wrong choice, there's no going back for you. It's only the labyrinth.
I'm not even sure what the labyrinth is, but that was fucking ominous. Jesus Christ. Okay.
The labyrinth is one of the only places beyond my sight. Let's just put it that way. I can't help you if you go there.
Damn, I'll keep that in mind. I mean, I think I've been living up the name a little bit more from Forged from Failures. Took a little bit of ramming my head against the wall 1, 2, 5, 10 times, but something's sticking in there at least a little bit. And like, I mean, next thing you know, you might see me as one of the badass guru heroes they're gonna think stories about.
Not all stories about badass guru are good. There's one particular badass guru that's made a legacy for herself, a name for herself. And believe me when I tell you, it's not a good name. Very, very bad. One string. They pull it hard enough, you will unravel. And they're pulling.
I think I'm starting to make a connection here. I'm not sure if that's what you're saying, but
well, I'm hitting you over the head with it, kid, so hopefully you're getting the message.
Look, man, Ford's like kind of hand on the neck, you know, rubbing it. Like, look, man, I'm not. It's wrong to hope.
No.
I know what you're saying here, and it's. Fuck, that's gonna suck. And whatever.
You can keep your head in the clouds, kid, but you gotta keep your feet in the ground. You gotta know where you're walking so you don't trip. Hope. As silly as it sounds, one of the only reasons your kind is still fighting. The loss of that hope means the loss of the fight. Forever. You have to have hope, but you have to be realistic. You got plenty of dreamers amongst your kind. Sometimes others need to be grounded in reality. You need both to succeed.
Forge will take a moment hearing what Rat's saying, especially about hope, about keeping yourself grounded. Before Forge takes a moment to kind of think to himself, what am I hoping for? And he'll kind of look over the party, look around, seeing the Ratkins, seeing Stakes, kind of everyone at least mostly enjoying themselves. Seeing Rat here and Dreams, kind of comes to understand what he is hoping for right now, to be able to have more of these moments, these bonds with these people, these other people, and have connection, then to bring her here, bring Lilia here, and maybe Cooper, to have a connection like that with them as well, something that isn't clouded by his own insecurities. As he'll take a nod, he'll nod to that, and he'll say, "I get what you're saying, Rat. I'll make sure that I'll stay grounded here and make sure to nothing happens to him, or at least bring him back in one piece."
Got 3 paths laid out before you, kid. One of them leads to the labyrinth, one of them leads to the flame, and one of them, the only one that matters, will let you continue on the course you've set for yourself. But allow yourself to get distracted, allow yourself to lose the path, there does come a point where there's no turning back. Little slip-ups happens to everyone. You are still part human after all. But you drift too far. You won't even see where you were going originally.
%33 chance ain't bad for us.
I think it's a lot easier to say when you're the one looking at someone else with a 33% chance, but I appreciate it.
I'm sure you've faced different odds, worse odds even.
Fuck me, there was like a 1% chance that I'd be here now. You should have seen the state I was before I left, or before I came down here. I mean, it was pretty fucking bad, dude. But hey, I got this far. Shit, only how much farther now? I mean, it can't go back. And being stuck in the labyrinth or being burned to death sounds pretty shitty from both ends, so I'll go down I'll keep going on the path that I'm going.
You two have a lot more in common than you think. This gathering wasn't just by chance or coincidence.
Or he looks at dreams and, smiles, he says. Yeah, I appreciate. Glad that I got the chance to talk with more dreams here. I know I see you mostly around the Caern, but hey, I mean, you're a pretty chill dude.
I have my duties at the Caern, yeah. And don't get me wrong, it's a great place. I absolutely love it. But my heart's here in the city. That I like being where the things happen.
Shit, me too, man. Me too.
You say you want to be remembered and go down in the overall records. Just remember, just keep in mind that what name they would call you. You could either be called Forged, the Loose Cannon, or something better. Forged the Protector, Forged the Righteous. Anything along those lines is much better than being the dumb guy who got himself killed.
Yeah, I can agree to that. And that's gonna sound corny as fuck, but hopefully somewhere in that tile they can put the family man in there. Got some stuff I need to focus on.
Right, but it's not impossible. As long as you got the heart, the determination, and the drive to do it. Anyway, I got other parties to go to, but remember what I said. Stick close to one another. This is your family for now. He looks over towards Dreams and bobs his little pink nose in a nod, and then reaches up and grabs the edge of the pizza box and pulls it closed. And as it rumbles a little bit longer, the rat then crawls out of the pizza box, but it looks startled and confused, and then goes zipping off to find a hiding spot.
It's fine. Just have
Yeah, I'm
rats
sure that's
all the time.
gonna do great for your reviews, especially if the food people come by.
Oh, I got a guy taking care of that. It's fine.
And with that, we transition to our next scene. In our final scene of the evening, we find ourselves at the home of the Hellhounds, or at least what has been acting as the home for most of them ever since their arrival in Tampa. This place has seen quite a lot of emotion over that time. From one getting their jaw broke, to raised voices, to deep conversation. This place has seen revelations, seen growth. It's seen redemption. And it's also seen the gradual fall. But now it sees something entirely new. A confession. So as the pack assembles within the living room, Stakes up on the couch, her knees pulled up to her chest, her arms wrapped around her knees, her chin sitting on top of her knees. The scene is yours.
I feel like Delphine has moved to the couch and is kind of just like dead weight on Stakes. Just feeling like just exhausted from the drive there.
George would also like be on the couch, feet up, on like a little table, has in his hand a nice thing of Pepsi. He's just sitting there, relaxed and taking sips, looking a little impatient.
I am cleaning up a bit in the kitchen.
I would have grabbed one of the chairs at the kitchen table, pulled it in, and kind of set it up to where I can be facing everyone before the discussion happens. Okay, so there are a couple things that we need to talk about. That's why I called you all here to, one, to inform you about something, and the other to talk about something that I haven't been willing to say for a while. But first, I talked to Charles a few days ago. I wanted to run down to the mission. And after the rundown was given, he informed me of the next mission that we'll be doing. And this time it's not one that we have a lot of time to plan. It's in about a week or so. We're on a timetable. Basically, Piney Point is going to be shipping out another load of the contaminated soil. And so we need to intercept the delivery truck while it's on its way to Georgia. We need to make it look like there was some sort of accident or something happened to the delivery. We can't go guns a-blazing. We can't make it super obvious it was us. But the shipment needs to be stalled and destroyed. We can't have it cross state lines.
What is the best way to destroy it? Did he
Juniper,
say?
as you ask that question, Stakes looks to you and then pats the front of the couch in front of her.
I look at her for a moment before setting down the dish that I was drying off, and I go and sit by her.
Sit down on the floor in front of her. Uncharacteristically, she reaches over to the side table and grabs a brush and starts awkwardly brushing your hair.
Anybody who can see Juniper's face has a look of uncomfortable confusion, but doesn't want to tell Stakes to stop, and just deals with the awkward and weird moments of like yanking and trying to tangle my hair.
After barely 2 or 3 minutes of finding it not working, she just sets the brush down and goes, works on television.
I've also not 5, 6.
She just shrugs and then just puts her hands on your shoulders.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, like a head pat or something. Maybe don't try and brush my hair. Maybe not that one again.
Just gonna stick to wolf stuff.
Well, to answer your question, he didn't really inform me of the best way to take care of it. This is something that kind of happened spur of the moment that they found out. So we were tasked with it while they're dealing with some other things. And first thing that came to my mind was making it look like an accident that the cargo exploded. I mean, I know the soil that they are distributing, has a bunch of chemicals, have a bunch of stuff mixed in that makes it a little bit volatile if it's not stored properly. And so maybe it wasn't stored properly, and an accident occurred, and the shipment went boom. That's just a first idea that popped in my head. We can plan a little bit more and try to figure out a more concrete idea in the next coming days.
That was the first thing that came to my mind as well, which is why I asked. And I'll kind of lean in on Stakes a little bit more to reassure her that she's still doing a good job.
But wouldn't cars on the highway potentially get caught in it? We could be causing a major accident that kills people.
What if we just removed the infected cargo and let them finish their delivery? Break in at a rest stop or something, truck stop, take the infected stuff off, and then let them keep going. They won't even know we were there.
Wouldn't it be obvious at that point that someone tampered with it if they knew that there was going to be stuff there and it's gone? Then that sounds like kind of something went wrong,
We get a doctored manifest to switch out with the actual manifest. They'll just think the delivery was delivered as it should be.
Wait, what if Ray just made the manifest not exist?
If it's digital, that's possible, but
Most manifests are. Everything's... do you know anyone who still does hard copies? Any company? They're gonna try to get the tax break on saving paper.
the thing is, I know how the right works is that it only really affects those that are in the right. So unless our names or something is in the manifest, it's not going to delete it. I can't target something like that.
That's right. You could also just bribe the driver.
Charles did say that the driver is human. So, as far as they're aware, this person isn't somehow one of those zombies making the shipment or some sort of other supernatural thing that's working with Piney Point. This is just a regular old delivery driver. So bribes might work.
No, coming from me, this is a weird suggestion, but maybe we don't make a big mess this time. With fires and explosions, and maybe we try something a little more overt.
If we catch them at a rest stop, one of us could make the truck not work for a few hours. Give us enough time to actually do the plan without without as much of a time crunch. He's gonna be having to fix the car.
One of us, we could just pretend that we're just a group of friends traveling around. We can see them pulled off on a rest stop because, their vehicle is malfunctioning, and just have a chit chat with them, distract them while some of the others get all the stuff out. It's a possibility.
I can make it quiet.
And we can mess with the cameras.
Or if we wait until they're stopped for the night in a sleep. As far as I know, they don't sleep in their truck beds.
No, but they sleep in their cabs. So they're not going to be there in the back of the truck when we're removing the soil. That's what we're going to do. But they're going to feel the movement. They're going to feel us rooting around there, lifting things. Unless that person's like dead asleep, passed out, like there's a possibility we would wake them up.
What if... Oh, I feel gross saying this, but what if we chloroformed them? Go into the cab first, chloroform them while they're sleeping. If I make it quiet, the car door won't make a sound opening.
Chloroform only lasts a few minutes.
Yeah, and that does sound like pretty, major there. I think he would know he got chloroformed, or, knocked out by something from one of us pretty quick.
And it would
No,
be
like,
very...
if he was still... Wouldn't it make him just sleep deeper if he was already asleep?
Chloroform only works if they have like a continuous, like, it's like right there on their face. And then you also have to be careful because if they're only inhaling chloroform and no oxygen, then they, can suffocate to death too. It's pretty tricky.
What about sleeping pills? Their coffee or something?
So we would have then to convince him to take a coffee from one of us or sneak a sleeping pill in their coffee.
Find a place when they stop to eat. Be a diner or something. Just sit next to them and dump it in. That's what they do in movies too.
We could roofie him.
I mean, putting sleeping pills in his coffee is adjacent to that, but I don't know if straight up roofing is what we want to do. I mean, potentially.
Go ahead.
I mean, not straight up chemical wise, but maybe Eliza has some sort of plant or something that she's been cultivating that when lit and the smoke, inhales the smoke, it could put him into a deeper sleep.
I think that's that stinky weed she talks about.
Well, even besides weed, I mean, there's plenty of plants that can have all sorts of, like, sedative effects. The tricky part is making the concoction strong enough based on their body mass without knowing their body mass, and also figuring out how to give it to them. That's not obvious. With sleeping pills, you can crush it up and put it into a drink, but with plants, there's still plant matter.
No, we weren't supposed to talk about all of this right now, as Ray had said, but my suggestion would be, if you don't want them to catch on that something bad happened, destruction, obvious destruction, isn't the answer. They know we've been fucking with them. They know we're here. There's no reason the truck caught fire they wouldn't assume something had happened.
Alright, so however we get it, we just carry it all out in a U-Haul truck.
But wouldn't that... Are we still missing the part of that there's going to be a manifest with the stuff on it that's going to be digital, that's going to be really hard for us to edit? I mean, I had an idea. I know we weren't so on board with this earlier when I first brought this up, but I mean, there is that weird holy water thing that apparently will just purify anything like that. Couldn't we just get some, find a way to get some of that holy water and just sprinkle it onto the fertilizer and just make it not evil anymore?
I mean, potentially, but I don't know if it's one drop and a whole barrel is, cured. It could take a lot to purify all of that. And I don't know if Spud is able to make enough of it that quickly.
Well, we don't... She kind of just winces a little bit at the mention of Spud. We don't know if Spud even has holy water. Like, we don't have a lot of time. And if we don't know how much we would need, I think the smarter idea is to just either find a different method of destruction that isn't messy, or just take it.
I mean, if we can manage to track it, and inevitably they're going to stop at a gas station, at a restaurant, something. They need to eat, they need to drink, they need to use the bathroom. If one of us can, cross paths with the driver, make friendly conversation, slip something into their drink, and then we just tag along, wait for them to fall asleep at a rest stop, and then make it quiet, mess with the cameras, pull the stuff out of the back of the truck into whatever vehicle we're using, and just get the fuck out of there. Do something with the manifest. That might be something that is worth talking to Artie about. Possibilities with that. So, I mean, it sounds kind of straightforward.
Yeah, if we can do something about the manifest, because if we can't do anything with the manifest, this whole plan is kaput. The thumb down with his hand.
Yeah.
I wonder if Artie would be able to make, like, a false manifest. And we can swap them.
I already had plans to talk with Artie about seeing if there's a way for him to figure out the most possible route that the driver would take, so that we kind of had an idea of where he would be, what rest stops he would stop at. I can talk to him about the manifest.
Do you want one of us to come with you, since we're, supposed to be on a buddy system?
Sure. We can do that. It's just talking with Artie, though. It's not like we're going anywhere dangerous. The buddy system is mainly for on-site investigations. But one of you want to come and talk with Artie when I go, you can do that.
There's another possibility. Find out what they're carrying, swap it with clean stuff. Change the truck butts.
Juniper had she gave it to Aspen, but we have a copy of what their logo design looks like for the packaging. We've seen it before.
Give them some Gaia's healthy fertilizer instead of, evil destroyer fertilizer.
Well, are we talking about like a semi truck? I don't know about easily changing out the whole cabin, and
they might just, I don't know if, we're going under the assumption that it's just a little bit. Did Charles mention how much is being transported?
He didn't say exactly how much, but with the way he was explaining about how they're trying to make a mass delivery to Georgia, it sounds like it's going to be a big delivery truck, not something that we can just swap the beds of easily.
I mean, not to brag or anything, but I probably could move a butt of a semi truck myself and push it around and Glabro. I probably could, but getting the other one nearby would probably be a pain in the ass.
It'd probably also be a little bit more conspicuous, not as hidden. If we're pushing a massive back end of a truck like that, then people are going to notice, people are going to see, and then swapping it with another one, that's also going to be a little iffy.
is pretty fucking cool, though. And Forge like thinks to himself how that would look in his head if he's now fantasizing, like imagining himself doing that.
It would be pretty cool, actually. But we can plan a little bit more later. At least you all know, and we have some ideas. We can cement something over the next couple of days, and we can go forward with that plan, get it all set up. So that way, when the delivery starts going, we'll be ready to intercept and do what we need to do.
Okay. Well, if it's not that, what are we talking about?
You know, we'll always support you, Ray.
At that, I'll kind of raise my eyebrows and make a face of like, I hope so. I'll kind of lean over in the chair and interlace my fingers in my hands and kind of grip tightly, just trying to find the strength to finally say something. And after about a minute or so, so you know how I've talked a few times about Jordan.
Yeah, like in passing.
And every time I've said that the reason I changed for the first time was to protect him and that I failed. I wasn't lying at that. I did fail to protect him. But I didn't correct the assumptions I believe you all made that he's dead. Jordan is still very much alive.
Stakes has a very kind of confused look on her face with a furrowed brow. Good.
It's good in a sense. It's good that he's still alive, but I know I've described the last mission I was on to, I believe, most of you. But something that happened then that I didn't really fully understand until after becoming Guru was that we were attacked by, at what I thought at the time was just a pack of feral, starving dogs. But it turned out that it was a pack fully consisting of Banes. And during the mission, Jordan was dragged away by the Banes. And he was infected by them.
So did he like get away or something? This is taking a weird turn here. I'm not sure where this is going.
I mean, we got away. My first turn, I broke out of the hospital. I killed all those people. And I did it all to get Jordan away from people that were trying to take him. I don't know where they planned to take him. I don't know what they were planning on doing, but I needed to get him out of that hospital, out of Germany, and back here. And so I did. I succeeded. I was able to get out of Germany with him. I was able to protect him in a sense, but After a while, I started to realize that something changed, and the Jordan I knew isn't the Jordan that I'm currently dealing with right now. He's still there, but it's that infection. Basically, a Bane took over him. He's fighting this Bane that's inside of him, and has been for the past year or so.
Where has he been this whole time?
Well, when we were in hell, he was in a abandoned house that I had found in the woods. I had him holed up in there, and there was a moment that Juniper almost found the house when I was there.
My eyes narrow, and I just quietly stand up, knowing exactly the moment he is talking about. And I go into the kitchen, and from a cupboard, I pull out some rum and pour myself a big glass.
When we traveled down from hell, and we traveled separately, I transported him in my truck, and he's been down here in a house that I bought very cheaply, very run down, and he's been there for the entire time we've been here.
Ray? Does Jordan have brown hair?
Yeah.
Looks a little bit like me, but worse, weight-wise.
Yeah.
I saw him that day. You can't save him. That's what I said.
I'll close my eyes and fight back the anger that's kind of rising up a little bit at that comment. Push it down and exhale a little bit and open my eyes. Yeah, I remember that's what you said. A lot of people have been telling me that.
Ray, that doesn't... Your friend sounds like that, but that's probably a Fomori. What I saw... That was a corpse.
He's not all the way a Fomori yet. His...
How do you know, Ray? How do you know?
Every so often, flashes of him still come out. He is still fighting inside of it, and I'm trying to find a way to remove that bane from him and remove that curse that he has on him, so he can come back to the way he was. He's not fully a Fomori yet.
Okay. Okay.
How
Ray,
long has
how
it been?
long- I was just going to ask the same question.
I mean, since I left Germany. That's when he started to fully show those changes. And when he started to talk the way he does right now, and his mannerisms changed, and the things he asks of me and talks to me about changed. So it's been over a year.
Okay. I have a question that you are going to get upset about. But I have to ask it. Are you just going to leave him like that if you find out that the Fomor is the Bane is the only thing keeping him alive?
My face will harden, and I will just lock eyes with Delphine. I know that once that thing is out of him, that he will be just fine. My friend is still there, and I will do anything I can to make sure that he comes out of this, because I vowed to protect him.
Have you told him anything about us or what we're doing?
I mean, I've told him about the pack. I mean, I talk to him, tell him about what's happening every once in a while. Not anything too much or too crazy. But he knows about you all. I mean, there's not much more to talk about with him. I can reminisce about stories with him only so much before it becomes too painful to talk about it.
Forge is just this whole time been sitting back, kind of hitting a definitely very clearly deep in thought about this whole situation, trying to think about this a lot more than he usually does with things. As he'll just say, "So Ray, kind of important question. If you had to choose between us and Ray, or not Ray, or Jordan, if you had to choose between helping us out or you need to help Jordan out, which one's going to take first priority?" Because, I mean, I think kind of important for us to know that.
I mean, have I let you guys down yet? I mean, I've been with you on every mission. I put all I could into all the planning, into investigating, into helping everyone here in some way through their own personal journeys. I mean, I'm not going to throw one away for the other.
Ray, there's someone that I talked to recently told me some good advice, that all someone needs on you is one thread, one little string, and they can pull that hard enough and they'll get you. So if the matter, you've been doing all this shit now, but what happens when, evil guy McGee's take Jordan and they're like, hey, either you get Jordan or you betray your homies. I mean, which one you're going to do? Or if you had to go help Jordan out in the middle of a mission, would you go help Jordan out? like, I'm not trying to judge you, dude, but like, I think this is kind of important to know. Like, if we just see you run off in the middle of a mission, at least we can expect that, as opposed to, you know, having you just suddenly dip.
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if, in the heat of the moment, what I would choose. Because this pack and him means so much to me that I don't know in that moment if I could choose one or the other.
Ray, and I will hand over the cup that's still just half full of rum. Jordan may still be alive in there, but that Bane is just as equally alive. You said that this has been getting worse since you came over from Germany. That it has been over a year that this change has been happening. Banes are not our friends. They are not on our side. They will do everything they can to cause pain and destruction. Your friend might still be in there, but so is that creature. You cannot see them as only your friend. There is more than one thing in there.
Juniper's right. Delphine will actually, like, sit up a little bit straighter on the couch. Banes are not going to let go easily either. They latch on. They target the thing that makes you weak. And in this case, what makes you weak is Jordan. It's using your affection for Jordan. I know, Ray, I know how that Bane is targeting you right now. I have a legitimate question. How is Jordan even surviving? Because from what I saw in my vision, it doesn't look like he's eating.
He eats. I mean, I bring him food whenever I can in big quantities. I make sure that he eats. I make sure that he's comfortable in the way that in that house. And I help him in any way that I can.
What you said about not being sure who you'd run after if something bad happened. I think none of us can answer that question. Absolute sureness. It's easy to say when it's not happening to you that, yeah, you'd do the right thing, you'd stay with the pack, you'd finish the mission. but you'd be lying. Because until you're there, until you're in that moment, until it's happening, you don't know for sure. Raymond, what's your ideal turnout for this? I don't mean this conversation.
I told you all this because I wanted your help and I needed your help with this. So hopefully that help will allow me to remove this bane from Jordan. And that separation will allow us to destroy the bane, or at least weaken it to an extent so that way we can deal with it, and then Jordan would be safe. And then once he's safe, and once it's gone from him, then I can work on getting him better, no matter how long it takes. So that way, hopefully, at least one of us is able to go home.
I'm gonna make a deal with you, Ray, but I need to know that you'll agree to it fully. I'll help you. But if I tell you it can't be done, you have to believe me. I know where you are. I've been where you are. Unfortunately, there was nothing I could do. But I don't believe anything is completely impossible. So if you think it's still possible, I'll help. If we get to a point that it's not, you have to believe me, or else I can't help. Because I didn't believe the ones who told me. And I had to do something I still regret to this day.
I'll look at Stakes, hands still clenched, almost to the point now of complete white knuckle. As long as there is a possibility of saving him, I want to go down any avenue that can save him. But I know that if you tell me that it's impossible, then it would be impossible. So if you're not saying it out of, hopelessness, or if you're trying to say that it's impossible out of betterment for me, or that it's going to save me by saying that it's impossible, then I'll believe you when you say it. But I need to save him. And I want to try everything I can.
There is no road I wouldn't walk down for any one of you. I will walk down every possible path with you. If the path runs out, there is no more road, no more trail. Scent is gone. Even if you can't see it, you have to believe that I can. You have to trust me. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. But I won't say it because I'm frustrated. I won't say it because I'm trying to protect you. Every single one of you knows I don't give up easily, even when given plenty of cause to. And if, only if, that time comes, that's not giving up. You understand that?
I do. And that's all I ask.
I will hold you to that. You will have my help.
I will turn to the others, releasing my grip of my own hands and letting them kind of fall to my lap. I will look at every single one of the remaining pack with a pleading look in my face, my eyes slightly wet. All I need and all I'm asking is for your guys' help. I understand that you think that this is a lost cause, and that's all I've ever been told. But I want to do right by my best friend, by someone I call a brother. And I need your guys' help to do that. Because at this point, I can't do it by myself. So would you please help me?
I did not say it's a lost cause. I only said that they're both in there. So you cannot say that he is your friend. But the part that is in there. That's not a lost cause. I will also help you. Not sure how, but if there's even a single ember of an opportunity, of a chance to save your best friend, I'm in. I do the same for my own family.
Forge will adjust in his seat, like putting his feet down, sitting up, kind of straightening his posture. He'll look over to Ray as he just takes a deep breath. Look, dude, I get wanting to do anything to save someone that means a lot to you. I mean, I can't say I don't understand that shit, but still kind of sucks to know that we've been kind of been withheld information and misled for like the last over a year now. So, I mean, it does suck a little bit. It's rich coming from me, I know, but I mean, shit still kind of sucks. I mean, fuck it. I mean, I'll help out as long as it's not gonna involve me sacrificing myself or doing any sort of crazy ritualistic bullshit, then I'm game.
Delphine has been sitting just with her hands folded over her lap, just really deep in thought. She waits for Forge and Juniper to speak before she looks up at Ray. I know of a rite, and I know how to perform it. To try to eject it from him. It is damaging. He won't leave without a scar. And I can't promise that when the Bane leaves, he will survive. But Ray, if I perform this right, I will eject that Bane. I'm a Theurge, and that is what I have to do. That is how I combat the worm.
All I ask is that you can do what you can. And if you know the right that will be able to help him, then I will deal with the consequences that happen afterwards. I've been taking care of him this entire time. I'm going to take care of him every step of the way.
I also do have to clarify. If I'm successful in performing this right, it will go to the Umbra. There's no fighting it on this side. And I'm gonna need all of you to perform this successfully, to perform it as successfully as I can. So there is a very real chance whatever it is could escape. And we won't be able to follow it. I cannot perform this right and then immediately pop us into the Umbra.
As long as Jordan's free from it, I will make sure that that Bane never gets near him again.
I'll help you, just with the understanding that it might not work the way you want it to.
I understand.
At this point, Stakes pushes herself up from the couch, walks over to Ray, and leans down, wrapping her arms around his shoulders. I hate that you didn't feel like you could tell us this whole time. Must have been very difficult for you to carry. She leans back, looks in your eyes with her one good eye, staring at you. And then she gives you a loud slap across the face. And then looks back. Don't do it again. Then she gives you a kiss on the nose and goes to sit back down.
Reeling a little bit from the slap, but knowing that it could have been a lot worse than just a single slap, I will slightly smile after rubbing my cheek a little bit, and then I will look down away from everyone and just say, thank you. As a few tears will fall, hidden behind my hair and my hat.
Delphine will try to offer a reassuring smile to him, but there is doubt in her eyes, because as much as she wants this to work for Ray, the larger part of her, from what she saw and what she's learned as a theurge, if she were a doctor, this would not be a hopeful prognosis.
Forge is currently now being reminded of what he talked about with the rat, the experiences he've had, kind of thinking about the lessons he've learned and maybe how this applies to now Ray as well, about keeping himself grounded. As he kind of realized that he needs to be more grounded himself in order to be there for Ray, to make sure this guy doesn't go off the deep end. As he understands the pain of losing someone like that and tries to give like a small reassuring smile, and maybe like leans over and like a little single pat or two with the hand on the shoulder before saying something like, "Oh man, we're gonna figure it out. It'll be all right." We're leaning back.
I am crashing the fuck out internally. I want to scream into a pillow, and my inner monologue is whiplashing back and forth between wanting to help Ray and be a good pack member, and also dealing with the utter betrayal, and also dealing with knowing just how utterly soul-wrenching all of this is going to be, and how much more trauma everybody's going to have together, and it's just already been so much of a shit show already. But I am trying to still stay in the present and be supportive for Raymond, but also what the actual fuck.
Around this point, kind of after a moment of silence, Forge will speak up. I know we're kind of having a moment here, but I felt like since we're on this topic, I also had some stuff to talk about. You know, if we're chill with that, you know, just
Keeping a Fomori in an abandoned house too? Because I think I can only deal with one at a time.
At this point, I just finished the rest of the cup in one fell swoop. Just chug it and put the cup down and just put my hand on my head and rub my forehead.
Yeah, Forge just, yeah, he'll give a chuckle himself, like, no, I'm not doing anything crazy like that, but it is something like kind of fucked up dealing with like, and he like realizes what he says and then looks to Ray like, oh, my bad. It kind of continues. As I was saying, I've had some shit go on, and well, kind of got to a point where I should talk about it with y'all, and I thought it was like maybe a 1 or 2 off thing, but now it's kind of becoming something more.
You didn't knock up someone else again, did you?
No, that's no. It's a longer story. I'll try and give the shorter end of it to make it quick. Essentially, Staked, how you made us do those missions to hunt in the wild to like find something and hunt it for ourselves.
She nods.
Yeah, while we're in hell, I thought that was bullshit. So when I was hunting, I couldn't find anything because it was winter and there's nothing out in fucking winter, which bullshit anyway. I don't know. So I was running around. I smelled something in a field, some like farm field or something. It was like I followed the scent and it led to a hole, which led to a like kind of basement thing. When I looked in there, there was this weird shadowy thing in a corner that spoke to me and was being really weird and offered to help me out if I helped him and gave him some chickens. So I kind of did. I know that's probably not someone I should be friends with, but I was just kind of feeling lazy and, kind of freaked out. But hey, he got me the chickens, the things I brought back, and he drained the life out of them. It was kind of weird and pretty disturbing. He shared some words, and we parted ways.
Delphine was just kind of neutral up until he said drained the life out of them. Because at first she's just like, okay, it might have just been a mischievous spirit. Now she's staring at him just... Yeah, no, Forge, I think that's a bane.
And then what happened, Forged? What happened after you two parted ways?
Well, I mean, I'm never really paying attention to spirits class. But I was, when we first came down here and I was walking around the streets in Ybor one night when shit was kind of rough, and I met the guy again. I think guy. It was in the like weird baggy hoodie and clothes. Like I thought it was a crackhead at first, to be honest, but it was like kind of weirdly cloaked where I couldn't see much of his features and spoke in this terrifying voice. So I was kind of on edge, and when I asked why he came, he said he followed the leader, so I assumed he followed me because duh. So he told me about the whole basement thing. That's where I found out about that and the treasure down there, and led to the terrible monster in the basement that I'm not supposed to tell you guys about. We good? Any questions right now, or before I continue here? That was that exchange, and I left kind of spooked, but.
No, I'm just internalizing it all, Forged.
And I look at Delphine, and I just throw my hands up, what the fuck? I thought our shit was bad.
She's just got a headache now because she doesn't feel good. She didn't feel good to begin with, and now she just is getting a headache that's turning into a migraine.
Yo, dude, I mean, look, it's not like I gave away crucial information about you guys or did anything super weird. I kind of was on edge and kept my guard, and found out about the basement thing from it. So look, I wasn't doing anything wild. He said he's about to say crazy, but he stops himself.
Forged. I don't want to ask this, but remember how you told me about the lady?
Yeah, the Vanessa lady.
Did you ever talk to this thing like you talked to that lady?
Oh, I mean, not in the same way, no. I mean, I wasn't gonna fuck the thing. So I wasn't telling it anything really that crazy. I think I like may have said a few things about how you guys were pissing me off at the time, but I mean, nothing too wild. But I mean, it seems to, like, if I remember correctly, like, it kind of gave ominous, like, phrasing, like it knew about my life, but also didn't. It was being very, very vague. But he it's not the last of it, though. So I was in this bathroom at this gymnasium, and just kind of, you know, to myself, when the stall opened behind me and the thing was back, had some more info. Apparently it was, you know, did the whole, like, when you want to find me, I'll find you thing. And turns out he told me that he had a way for me to get my revenge on Vanessa. And that if I went alone with him, I could fuck up and kill Vanessa and he would get his quote-unquote freedom, so...
Everyone just hears the counter crack a little bit.
That's a trap. She's looking at Ray now. She's looking at Ray now, like, just to see, like, looking at him, just being like, what are you feeling about all this, pack leader?
So, as Forged was talking and telling the whole story, at first it was still kind of dealing with the feelings of what we just talked about, but as Forge talked more and more and more, Ray will look up and a look of concern and then dread will appear on his face when he realizes that the friend that Forged is talking about is Jordan. The draining the life from the chickens, knowing things about his life that it shouldn't know. And when Delphine looks at Ray, that's what you'll see, as I am just staring with dread all over my face.
Delphine will pause when she sees Ray's face, and she'll look between him and then Forged again.
Can I make an insight check watching everybody's facial features?
Absolutely.
To try and figure out, like, what is happening?
Yes.
I don't know. Would I be able to insight that it would be, like, the same person?
You can roll to see if you can. Yeah. Do you want to try and make the connections?
Yeah. That's what I was going to do based off of facial features, but then I figured I would just ask.
Yeah, rolling wits and insight.
2 successes.
That is 6 with a crit.
Like that feeling you get when you find a puzzle piece that you've been searching for so long for a jigsaw puzzle, or when you find that Lego that connects the entire structure together. Definitely for you, Juniper, you can see the connection being made almost instantaneously. As for you, Delphine, I will say that it's hard to say for sure. He could just be horrified at what, Forged is admitting here, that he's been hanging out with this horrifying thing for so long, letting it drain the life out of stuff, but also there's some hypocrisy in that. But regardless, it's hard to say. You can't say for sure that he's connected the dots, but Juniper, you can for sure.
Hey, Raymond.
Yeah?
Has Jordan been very tightly secured to one spot this entire time? Both back in hell and, now?
When I leave him alone, I tend to secure him to a chair or to a location as best I can.
And what is the best you can, step by step, please?
Well, at first, to be on the safer side, before I was really looking into a way to save him, I was tying him fully to a chair and securing him that way, making sure he was in that one position the entire time I was gone, which wasn't too long because I would check on him daily and stay with him for a few hours when I could. But as we got down here, I started to give him a little bit more movement around the house, and because seeing him constantly tied up in the chair hurt. And so I would tie him up in a way that he could move a little bit, but I assumed that he was still secure enough that he couldn't get out.
So, based off of what you said, there's a non-zero chance that he could have gotten out at any time you were not actively supervising him.
At this point, it's not a non-zero chance.
I feel like Delphine has made the connection of what Juniper's hinting at now. And she'll look at Forged. And he wanted to lead you to Vanessa.
The shadowy figure that I feel like we're hinting is Jordan. Yeah. He offered that I could get my revenge and I could get essentially a one-on-one meeting with Vanessa if I went alone.
Which means he's working with Piney Point. Or with, at the very least, Vanessa.
He also did know about the monster in the floorboards too, or no, the floor foundation.
I didn't mention anything like about that to him.
But he mentioned it. That's where I learned it from. He told me that there was something life-changing to be found in the foundation.
Oh, is that what you were talking about that one night?
Where's like glances over to Juniper, like, yeah, narrowing a little bit for a second before looking back to Ray, going, yeah, that's the kind of the stuff I have learned and shared with Charles.
I'm talking about that night that you were talking to me about some treasure you found out about.
That's the same one I told Charles.
But you learned it from Jordan.
Well, the thing that I didn't know was Jordan at the time. Yeah. I mean, it was really important, valuable information that I learned from for free. Essentially, I wasn't going to look a gift horse in the mouth.
Ray, this is a problem. This is a bigger problem than we initially thought. We
Yeah.
need to deal with the truck, but then after that, we need to deal with Jordan.
I agree. I didn't think that it was any of this was going on, so I guess I'm sorry, but my problem has become all of our problem.
All of our problems are all of our problems. Okay? We're all a pack. It affects each and every one of us. All of our shit. So, don't feel too bad about that. You should feel more bad that you didn't tell us sooner, and now it's jeopardized all of us in a pretty bad way. But you know, hindsight is 20/20, right, guys?
I mean, if I told you sooner at any point, would you have reacted the same way? Or would you have reacted more volatile?
I'll be real, we didn't give the best track record when collectively when I brought up Spud, so I can understand Ray being hesitant to bring it up.
I was pretty chill.
I would have been more motivated back then than I even am now. Because I was fresh off my entire family dying. So doing whatever it takes to save my pack member's best friend and brother would have been way up there. Yeah. It was a really great time for you to have said that too, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Stakes gives a stare towards Juniper. Didn't know each other very well at the time. Not like everyone was being extremely forthcoming. Maybe still aren't about everything they're doing. Trust has to be earned. But while I can say, yes, I would have reacted the same, I understand why you were hesitant. Do not punish him more severely than you're willing to punish yourselves for all the secrets you've kept. Is it dangerous? Yes. But do we know about it now and can do something? Also, yes. But if one of you thinks you haven't put us in trouble or in danger at one, you are wrong. And I, as the kids say, have the receipts.
I mean, I felt like my stuff wasn't the worst, but okay. I mean, I get it.
No, I'm not punishing. I just, man, this stuff. This is just a lot.
I still gotta ask though of I know it seems like a trap. It smells like a trap. It looks like a trap. Probably means it's a trap. But what am I just to say no to this? Like,
Yes. Say no.
could we somehow take advantage of this? Maybe not like go do it, but maybe I don't know, jump Jordan, not kill him, but like you know.
At that comment, I'll like stare at you pretty hard. But not at this current situation. At this current moment, can we capitalize on anything?
Ray? Is Jordan home? When was the last time you checked on him?
Or coming to pick you up?
So Raymond, there's this issue that military people have where they live by a pretty strict schedule. And it's a habit that they don't kick very easily. So when you have shown up, every time you've shown up, Jordan has been waiting for you. The problem is, you pretty much always show up at the same time for the same length of time every time. And as all that comes into your head, you realize how easy it would be to make sure that you were there waiting if you wanted to, and would very likely not be caught flat-footed.
I will let out a big sigh, and under my breath, I will just say, well, fuck me.
And this is where our story comes to a close this evening, but not without two last scenes. Our first scene takes us to a storage unit. As we make our way inside the storage unit, we see a ruin of a luxury car. The windows have been smashed out. The entire side body of the car is covered in rust and pitted. As we zoom in to the back seat through the broken window, we see the baby carrier attached to the back seat. And we see the dark stain on the back seat. And in our final scene, little surprise, we find ourselves at Raymond's secret house. We go in through the doorway. We move through the dark halls to the room with the fireplace, the chairs. There is a pile of ropes uncoiled at the bottom of the chair. And the window open, blowing a breeze through the curtains, causing them to rustle. And this is where our story comes to a close. Thank you so much to these amazing players. A big thank you to our guest star, Preston, for reprising his role as Jace Dreams and Decay Thorn. We'll be back on Tuesday with an episode of Rage Across Tampa over on Twitch, and we'll be back here next Friday with another episode of Hellhounds. What will this pack get into next? I think they're slowly starting to find out. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
This has been a St. Petersburg by Night production. Hounds is produced in arrangement with the World of Darkness and Dark Pack. The storyteller for Hounds is Kent. Tonight's characters were voiced by Jay, Lilith, Ben, Nikki, and Katie. Theme song, Rage Across Tampa lyrics by Preston and Kent. Visit our website at stpbynight.com for more information about all of our productions and how you can become part of our community. Thank you for listening. Until next time, fangs, stakes, and claws out.